Review question 4. The accompanying diagram shows a section of a sound wave as displayed on an oscilloscope. And for those of you who are wondering what an oscilloscope is, basically it's a device for viewing oscillations. And this is a short picture of an oscilloscope. Okay. Which equation could best represent this particular graph? Is it 1? Y is equivalent to 2, the cosine of x over 2? Is it 2? Y is equivalent to 2, the sine of x over 2? Is it 3? Y is equivalent to 1/2, the cosine of 2x? Or is it 4? Y is equivalent to 1/2, the sine of 2x? Definitely press pause, and I'll give you a moment to think and come up with a solution. All right, so hopefully by now you were able to press pause and draft out a solution. And if not, that's completely fine. Let's try this out together. All right, so the first thing that I'm going to recommend is that it's helpful to extend this graph to the right. Okay, and when x is equivalent to 0, the graph is going to be at its maximum. Okay. And this is basically a part of a cosine wave. By now, you should know the difference in how a cosine wave will look as opposed to a sine wave. Sine waves pass through the origin unless they have a vertical shift or a phase shift, okay? And cosine waves usually pass through their the absolute value of the curve, the absolute value of the amplitude. So this could have been like -2 as well, depending on whether or not there's a phase shift. All right, sorry for that holdup. Okay, so the amplitude is the distance from the center line to the maximum value. And here we see that it's 2. Okay, so we just keep that in mind, that the amplitude has a value of 2. Okay. So when x equals 0, we have an amplitude that's equivalent to 2. And this is the general equation for a cosine wave. Y, the dependent variable, is going to be equivalent to A, the amplitude. This should really be posted up between absolute value signs. So let's just draw them in real quickly. The absolute value of A times the cosine of bx, and also the absolute value of b as well. And b, or the absolute value of b rather, is the frequency, and basically it's the number of complete cycles between the interval, well, that pass through the interval of 0 to 2 pi. Okay, so that's basically what the frequency is. And you'll notice here, you should, prior to this problem, you should definitely know what a cosine wave is. And if you're familiar with the shape of a cosine wave, you'll see that exactly half a cycle fits in the interval between x is equivalent to 0 and x is equivalent to 2 pi. So therefore, the frequency is going to be 1/2. Again, between 0 and 2 pi for x, we have an interval of 1/2. Okay, so b is 1/2, and we said earlier that the amplitude, the absolute value of a, is going to be 2. Therefore, our equation is y equals 2, because the amplitude, or the absolute value of the amplitude, is 2 times the cosine of 1/2 x. Okay, where b represents the frequency. That's the coefficient associated with the x. Okay, so let's go over to our answer choices. This looks like it's going to be basically answer choice 1. Okay, so let's go ahead and highlight that. So the correct answer choice is going to be answer choice 1. Sorry for my janky highlighting skills. But yeah, just so you get the point, it's not a sine wave, so don't make the mistake of choosing sine. And you know, these have the frequencies interchange with the amplitude, so they're wrong. Okay? All right. So thanks for your time, and let's get on to the next problem. And don't forget to order the complete Cram session. The viewing of this will not be available forever, and definitely spread the words to your friends, families, whoever it is that you know that needs to review Algebra 2 and other subject areas as well. Don't forget to email me at memedicine@gmail.com. All right.